are considered as the upayantras. That is something almost similar to yantra, but it is inferior to those yantras already mentioned. And how these can be used, few examples I will tell. That is, if the shalya is of loha type, if it is a metal, then we can use magnet, that is ayaskanta. Okay. Similarly, if any shalya is stuck upon a part of the body, by with the use of the pani and padala, if small, which can be removed by the hand itself, if it is impacted in the body, then it can be removed using the pani panitala, isn't it? So there, the panitala acts as a yantra. Similarly, for removal of some certain, if something goes into the mouth and all, if it is not into a deeper level, then we can use the anguli for the removal. Okay, if it is in a upper level, anguli can be used for the removal. Okay, there anguli acts as a yantra. Then Stevana and Pravahana, that is, it's a spontaneous reaction. If something goes into the mouth and all, first thing is we will try to spit it out. So there, that Stevana or Pravahana, that thing is happening and it acts as a yantra. And then Ashtila, Ashma Mudra, all these can be used when a shalya is impacted, and to facilitate the movement, these can be utilized. Harsha, of course, it is considered as means yantra in case of Manasika Shalya. Like that, these things can act as a yantra, or it is considered as an upayantra for removal of certain shalya according to some circumstances. Okay, this is in modern terms, these can be the correlations. This is what is about yantra. So yantra, we have seen the definition, we have seen the number, we have seen the different types, then what material can be used for the making of preparation of those yantras, and with what, with the help of what and all things we can devise the yantra. And we have seen the yantra doshas, yantra gunas, which is the important yantra, and which type of, which is the prashastra yantra, means which type of yantra can be considered as good. And individually we have seen all the types and its possible modern correlations. And finally we have seen with the yantra karmas also. Okay, this is what is about yantra. Yantra can be a question which is for essay question, as well as yantra dosha, yantra guna, etc. can be separately asked for a small 3 mark or something like that. uh, Yes, that is what. Individual yantra, Nadi yantra, Swastika, Shalaka yantra, this can be individually also asked. Okay, so that portion is also important. Next is about the Shastra. Shastra, as such, the definition is not given. First, it is about the introduction part. First is Shastra Sampat. Shastra Sampat means the Shastra Gunas. Tani Sugrahani Sulohani Sudharani Surupani Susamahita Mukhagrani Akaralani Chedi Shastra Sambhav. That is Sugraha. First is, it should be easy to hold, or the handle, or it should be having a good catch. The means while using the Shastra, it should not be producing any kind of discomfort. Okay, so it should be easy to hold. Sugraha. Grahana. That itself, the word itself gives the meaning. Then it is Suloha. There also, Suloha means good material. The material which is used to make the Shastra should be of best material. Then Sudhara. Sudhara means, Dhara is the functional end. So Sudhara means it should be very sharp. Okay. Next is Surupa. Surupa, as told earlier also in case of Yantra also, the by seeing the Yantra or Shastra itself, the patient should not go into shock. So it should not be that fearful. It should be having a Shobhana Akara, Surupa. Then next is Susamahita Mukhagra. Susamahita Mukhagra means the tip should be well tipped. It should not be having any uh, dysfunctional tip and all. It should be Susamahita, correct dimension tip. Akaralani means Adandurani, no serrations. It should not be having any serrations. Means not a normal serration, that is in an abnormal manner, or it should not be in a distorted manner. The serration should not be in a distorted manner. So if these features are called as the Shastra Gunas. Okay, there 6 in number. Sugraha, Suloha, Sudhara, Surupa, Susamahita Mukhagra, and Akarala. These are the Shastra Sambad, 6 Shastra Gunas. Next is the Shastra Dosha. Shastra Dosha means Vakra, Kunda, Khanda, Karadaram, Atisthulam, Atyalpam, Atidirgham, Atihrasvam, Ityashtav Shastra Dosha. So Shastra Doshas are 8 in number. And Vakra, the meaning itself is it is kutila, that is it will be crooked. So if it is crooked, the functional end is having crooked nature, then it is considered as a dosha. Then kundha means stula dharatvena aroma vahi, that is the sharpness will be lost, and if the sharpness is lost, it cannot perform well. So that is kundha. Khanda means asamagra, that is it is broken. Then Kharadhara means Karkashadhara, rough edge, it's serrated. As told, it is not a normal level of serration when it is too much distorted. Then Ati Stula and Ati Alpa means the measurement variations. It should not be uh, having a imbalanced measurements. Adidirgha also, Adihrasa also is the mismatch in the measurements. Adistula, Atyalpa, Adidirgha, Adihrasa is the measurement problems. Ityashta Shastra Dosha. These are the 8 Shastra Doshas. Vakram, Kundham, Khandam, Haradaram, Atisthulam, Atyalpam, Adidirgham, Atihrasvam. These are the 8 Shastra Doshas. And as told, there is exception. That is in Karapatra Shastra, Haradara is not to be considered as a Shastra Dosha because the Shastra's feature is it should be having Haradara. It should have the serrations. Okay. So in case of Karapatra Shastra, it is not a dosha. It is its feature. The Kharadharatva is the feature of Karapatra Shastra. So in case of this Karapatra Shastra, it is an exception. Next is the Dhara. Dhara, as I have told, it is about the sharpness of the functional end. Okay. It is told about, its 4 types are told: Masuri, Artha Masuri, Kaishiki, and Artha Kaishiki. Okay. Masuri means it will be having a thickness, means tatra dhara vedanana masuri. The thickness will be of that of masuri, that is lentil shape or masur dal. That much thin it will be, and it should be used for vedana. Okay, so masuri is used for vedana. Next is artha masuri, that is half of the masuri matra. Masuri was used for vedana, and half of that thickness means half the it should cut the it should be having the thickness of artha masuri, half of that masuri matra. Then it should be used for lekhana. Then next is kaishiki. Kaishiki means the thickness of that hair. A single hair, that thickness will be termed as kaishiki. And that the functional end having the thickness of kesha, that is kaishiki, should be taken for yadhana and visravana. The functions are yadhana and visravana. Next is chedanana artha kaishiki, that is half the thickness of the hair, that is artha kaishiki. It should be utilized for chedana karma. So thara, the sharpness of the functional end, is divided into 4 types based on the thickness: Masuri, Artha Masuri, Kaishiki, and Artha Kaishiki. And Masuri thickness, Masuri matra thickness is means such dhara can be used for Vedana, Artha Masuri for Lekhana, Kaishiki for Vyadhana and Visravana, and Artha Kaishiki for Chedana. This is the dhara. Next is Payana. Payana means tempering. That is, here in this process, a Shastra is made red hot. Nirvrittanam Shastranam Agni Taptanam. That is, Shastra is made red hot and immediately cooled by dipping into any liquids. Takshanat Dravadraveshu Nirvapanam Payana. And once after making it as Agni Tapta or red hot, immediately Takshanat, immediately it is dipped in. Nirvapana means it is dipped in Dravadravya, in any liquid. And it is based on the liquids used, it is divided into 3. Tesham Payana Trividha. Kshara Udaga Taileshu. That is, when it is dipped in Kshara, when it is dipped in Udaga, and when in Taila. So based on that, it is divided into 3. And Tatra Kshara Payidam Shara Shalya Asti Chedaneshu. That is, if the Shastra is tempered with Kshara, Then it is used to what Shara Shalya Asti Chedaneshu to excise tough materials. Okay, like Shara, Shalya, Asti, etc. For that Chedana, it can be used when it is tempered with Shara. Then Udakapayida Mamsa Chedana Bhedana Pataneshu. And if the instrument is tempered with Udaga, it can be used on soft tissues of body like Mamsa. In Mamsa, for its Chedana, Bhedana, Patana, all these functions, it can be used. But in a soft tissues like Mamsa, it should be used. Procedure can be Chedana, Bhedana, Patana, but the soft tissues, mainly Mamsa, can be used. Then Tailapayidam Siravyadhana Snayu Chedaneshu. And when it is tempered with Taila, then it is used in much finer structures like Sira and Snayu for Siravyadhana, for Snayu Chedana, for all these purposes, then these instruments can be utilized. So Payana, it is called as tempering, and it is a procedure when the instrument, Agni Taptanam Shastranam, that is, when an instrument is made red hot, Tat Kshana Dravadravyesu, and it is immediately dipped in Dravadravya. This process is called Payana, and based on the liquids used, it is of three types: Kshara, Udaga, and Taila. When it is Kshara Payada, that is, when the instrument is tempered with Kshara, it is called, it is used for excising, means Chedana of tough structures like Shara, Shalya, and Asti. When it is Udakapayita, it is used for much soft tissues like Mamsa, and it can be used for Chedana, Bhedana, Patana, etc. And once it is tempered with Taila, it can be used in more finer structures like Sira and Snayu for Sira, Vedana, Snayu, Chedana, etc. And the benefits of Payana, it is told, it helps in the तीक्ष्णत्वादयो गुण कर्म विशेष उत्कर्ष हेतवो, that is utkarsha of the guna and karma, that is it will increase the durability of the material, it will increase the performance of, means whatever procedure is done, it will increase its efficiency. So payana is told to increase the guna and karma of the uh, instruments. Okay, that is about payana. Next is Nishana. Nishana means a processing where there is sharpening the functional end, and this is uh, means this is sharpened by rubbing it against a Shlakshna Shila. Okay, that process is called Nishana. So Nishana Artham Shlakshna Shila Mashavarna. That is, the Shlakshna Shila used is of Mashavarna. So it is a process of sharpening the functional end of Shastra, and the functional end of Shastra is rubbed against Shlakshna Shila, which is having Masha Varna. Okay, and it is told, Masha Varna explanation is told. It is of Krishna Kapila Varna, etc. is told, and Shlakshna means Akarkasha. It is somewhat smooth, it is not so rough. So, such Shila should be used. Shlakshna and Masha Varna Shila can be used for Nishana. And now it is told like what is the use of this nishida, means how we can understand that it is properly the sharpening is properly done. It is told like uh, a shastra after nishana karma, if it is attaining few properties, then it is suitable for shastra karma, like yada sunishidam shastram romachedi susamstitam sugrihitam pramanena tada karmasi yoji. That is, when after nishana karma, if the shastra is able to split the hair, that is romachedi, if it is able to split the minute hair, that much sharp it have become, then susamstidam, that is, there is no alteration in shape. After this rubbing against shila also, there is no alteration in shape. Susamstidam, it is of that proper akara only. Then sugrihitam means after that nishana process also, it can be properly held, it is able to hold the shastra well. Then that is the third property. Then pramanena, that is, there is no alteration in the pramana also. After Nishana, if the Shastra is satisfying these four properties, then it can be used for Shastra Karma. That is Romachedi, Susamstidam, Sugrihidam, and Pramana. That is the Sunishida Lakshana or Prashasta Nishida Lakshana. Then after this Nishana has been done, then it should be placed in the Shastra Kosha. That is a surgical box. And it is told that Shastra Kosha can be made of Shalmali Falaka. Hara Samsthapanartham Shalmali Falakam. It can be um, kept means the surgical box can be made of shalmili falaka, or it is told like kshauma patrorna kaushaya dukula mruduka charmaja, or else other materials. Shalmali falaka is given by Acharya Sushruta, and Ashtanga Hridaya means Acharya Vakpada tells the use of kshauma, patra, urna, kaushaya, dukula, mrudu charma, etc. for the uh, making of surgical box. Okay, then it is told how means what is the how it should be made. That is, compartments are stitched in inner side of the material. Susyuda sa anta, it is told susyuda means it should be stitched, it should be sutured. So uh, inside the material, compartment should be made to place the instruments, and these sharpened instruments is wrapped with the wool. After sharpening the instruments, it should be wrapped with wool, and then it should be placed in each compartments. Okay, and so once all the instruments are placed, then it should be folded and it should be tied with pasha. Okay, so again the Shastra Kosha is told, and its dimensions is told, Syan Nava Angula Vistara Suhano Dwadasha Angula. It should be 9 angula Vistara and 12 angula Khana thickness. Such material should be made in such a shape should be made of the materials like shauma, patra, urna, kaushaya, dukula, mrudu charma, etc. And after that, inside that box, inside that sheet, what should be made? Compartments should be made. Then it should be that compartment should be stitched. Then after the sharpening, these instruments should be covered with sa antar urnasta, means it should be covered with wool. Then it should be placed inside each compartment, and once it is placed, it should be tied with a rope with pasha. Okay, that is told about Shastra Kosha, and it's means what for what this Shastra Kosha is being used. Thara Samsthapanartha. That is to maintain the sharpness. Okay, after proper sharpening, that sharpness should be maintained. Sharpness of the functional end of the Shastra should be maintained, and for that it should be kept inside the Shastra Kosha. This is the description of Shastra Kosha. And now it is about the each Shastra's description. According to Acharya Sushruta, it is 20 in number, and the 20 Shastras are Mandalagra, Karapatra, Vruthipatra, Nakha Shastra, Mudriga, Utpalapatra, Arthadhara, Suchi, Kushapatra, Atimukha, Sharari Mukha, Antarmukha, Trikurshaka, Kudharika, Prihi Mukha, Ara, Vedasapatra, Badisha, Dandashanku, Ashani. Acharya Vakpada have certain differences in opinion. Next is about the individual Shastras. So Mandalagra, it is told according to the shape of the end, it is divided into two types, Vritta and Kshuragara. That is one which is having a spherical end, and the other which is having a double-edged blade. So based on that, it is divided into two, Vrittagara and Kshura Samsthana, and it is having 6 angula pramana. Its correlation is made with the current surgical blade with knives which are circular, and also it can be compared to a sharp curette where it is having a circular edge, and a decapitating knife. These can be the correlations made. Other than that, the angula is already told. This is the explanation of Mandalagra Shastra. It is of two types, Vritta and Kshura Samsthanakara. Then it is 6 angula in nature, means in Pramana, and its correlation is done with current surgical blade with knives which are circular, a sharp curette, and a decapitating knife. Next is Karapatra. Karapatra, the explanation is Karapatram iti Karavat Patram yasya tat Karapatram yatha karo angulipi rajito bhavati tadvadyat kantagai rajitam syat tat Karapatram uchyate. That is, it has serrated projections. Like we have fingers in the hands, similarly serrated projections are present in the end. So it is told Karavat Patra. So like the anguli in the Kara, they are having Kantaka in the instrument. Okay. So it is named as Karapatra, and it can be correlated to bone saw or amputation saw, which is having serration at the edges. Okay. Next it is Vruthipatra. Prithipatra, it is told Prithipatram iti Vrithe Patramiva Prithipatram Tacha Dvividam Ekam Anchitagram Dvidiyam Prayatagram. That means it means like it is having shape similar to that of Prithipatra, that is which is having rough ends. Okay, and it is of two types, Anchitagra and Pratyagra, means which is having a convex blade and concave blade. Based on that, based on the agra difference, convex and concave, it is divided into two types, and correlation can be made with Bard Parker knife. Next is Nakha Shastra. Nakha Shastra is Nakhanam Chedanaya Shastram Nakha Shastra, that is which is used for cutting the nails. It can be correlated to nail parer or chisel. Next is Mudriga. It is told Mudriga Nirgada Mukham Phaletu. Its length is told like half angulam. Okay, can be correlated to finger knife or valvotomy knife. Then next is Utpalapatra. It is Utpalapatramiva Patram Asya Itti Utpalapatrakam. That is which having blade like leaf of water lily. Utpala. Okay, leaf of water lily. Utpalapatra, similar blade it will be having, and it is correlated to periosteal dissector. Next is Arthadhara, or it is also called Vaktradhara. Arthadharam iti Arthe Dhara Yasya Tad Arthadharam. That is half of the means in the fender instrument is taken, half only will be sharp. Okay, that prominent edge will be present in one half. So that can be compared to the conventional knife or household knife, where the half of the portion will be having prominent edge or sharp edge. So that is Arthadhara or Vaktradhara. Next is Suji. Suji is having Tekshnagara, very pointed edge, and it is similar to Malati Pushpa Brandagra. That is pointed, that pointedness is compared with the Malati Pushpa Brandagra, and it is of three types, Vritta, Chesra and Dhanuvakra. Vritta can be taken as a round, then Chesra cutting needle, and Dhanuvakra as curved. Can be correlated to the different surgical needles. And surgical needles are round bodied, cutting, thermic. Okay, these are the varieties of surgical needles. Then Kushapatra. Kushapatra is Kushapatram iti Kushapatra Tulyam Kushapatram. That is which is having Kusha grass, similar to shape of that Kusha grass, and it is correlated to long bladed knife, Paget's knife, arteriotomy knife, etc. And next is Arti Mukha. Arti Mukha means the front part will be similar to the mouth of Arti. That is Arti Jalavarthini Nama Pakshi Vishesha. It is a bird, and the instrument which is having similarity with the mouth of that Arti, it is called Arti Mukha, and it can be compared to or can be correlated to curved blades, Spencer's suture cutting blades, episiotomy blades, scissors, etc. Then next is Sharari Mukha. Sharari Mukha means Sharari Dirgha Chanju Pakshi Vishesha. That is Sharari is a bird which is having long beak. So the instrument which is having similar structure, that is similar to the Mukha of the Sharari Pakshi. Such an instrument is named as Sharari Mukha, and it is divided into Dhavalaskanda and Rakta Shirsha. It is also given the name Kartari. It can be correlated to the curved knife or scissors. Okay. Next it is Antarmukha. Antarmukha, it is told Antarmukha midi Madhyamukha. That is, it is a guarded sharp instrument, and the only center part is able to prick, or it is the functional part will be in the middle. So it can be related to the lancet. Next is Trikurchaka. Trikurchaka you can compare with Cytobrush and all. It is told like Trikurcha, that needle-like projections, it will be three in nature. Such instrument is named as Trikurchaka. Cytobrush or something can be correlated to this Trikurchaka. Then Kutharika iti Kuthara Tulya Kutharika, that is something similar to the axe. It is correlated to surgical axe knife. Then it is similar to Godanta Sadrisha, similar to the tooth of the cow. Okay, it is told Godanta Sadrisha, its end. Next it is Prihi Mukha. Prihi means paddy. So the instrument having tip like that of paddy is considered as Prihi Mukha. Prihi Mukhamiti. Prihi Mukhamiva Mukham Yasya Tad Prihi Mukham.